I'm going to get each one of them to introduce themselves to you in their class character. Chintan, shall we begin with you?
All right. So I have to introduce myself in...
As Chintan, but in the character of Farooq.
All right. Have you guys seen Class, by the way? Yeah, so I played Farooq. So I'll just introduce myself. Schoolboys and schoolgirls. This is Chintan Rachchh. That's what I think Farooq would say.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So it would be on the lines of, hey schoolboy, this is Chintan Rachchh, and I'm an actor. I have been, इस वहाँ के आसमान का तो पता नहीं, पर क्लास में ज़रूर दिख जाऊँगा आपको.
Cwaayal?
राम राम भाई, Cwaayal नाम है मेरा. Hi, thank you.
क्रांतिकारी हूँ, भिखारी नहीं. Hi guys, Gurfateh Pirzada, and I play the character of Neeru.
Good afternoon. My name is Moses Koul, and in the show I play Sharan Gujral. If you've seen the show, right till the very end, then you know you don't want to cross me. But in real life, I love you all. Thank you for being here.
Hi, I'm Naina Bhan. No one plays Koul Kaldra except Naina Bhan. I'm an actor now. I was previously a filmmaker, and I'm also a newly accredited intimacy coordinator. Thank you.
First of all, I'm kind of shocked you guys don't know who I am. I'm Zeyn Shaw, and you guys are very, very lucky to come watch me speak today. Thank you.
So that's the team of class for you right here at the India Today Conclave. Cwaayal, do you think you did justice to Bali? What is Bali known for most? There's a certain move associated with Bali that he's very well known for.
Oh, dude. Do you want twerking?
Go for it.
Yeah, so it's like this.
Twerking is not working.
Yeah, and also Bali in Shaga, I think.
I can't unsee that. But congratulations to all of you for the success of class.
Thank you.
It's been, I'm sure, an amazing journey for all of you. Gurfateh, beginning with you, did you expect this kind of an amazing response to class?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously, we came on this project knowing that it's going to be something path-breaking and something that's very different because the directors that we had and the platform that Netflix gave us, it was incredible. And like I said, I was just saying outside, how often do you see 11 new people in such a big show and there's absolutely no name attached to it. You go in watching the show without wanting to watch an actor or a specific star. It's, and then you watch it and then hopefully you resonate with someone and then you know their names. So I think that's the biggest achievement that we feel like class gave us. And yeah, I mean, we didn't think that we'd be here. So that's great and very happy to be here.
Moses, what do you think it is about the series that's made it such a big hit? Do you think it's all of the drama that's associated with it, or there is a tinge of realness also, of the teenage drama that you've kind of encapsulated? What teenagers face perhaps now?
Well, I think it's more than a tinge. I think I'll give it that it's definitely, look, it's suspended reality. That's what cinema is, right? In a lot of ways, I think why it's done the way it's done is, of course, what Gurfateh said, that when you don't know the actors or you've not seen them on Viral Bhiyani, you've not seen them being papped, you don't know what their persona is, right? For a lot of people over here, you might think that Cwaayal is exactly like Balli. So when you watch them, there's, of course, it's easier to suspend belief and buy into the world. That's number one. Second is, we're talking about extremely pressing and sensitive issues in the show, and it's been dealt with in a way that doesn't lecture you. It's not preaching. It's addressing it in a way that is common and it's colloquial in a lot of ways. So I think that's what it is, and I feel like a lot of it also has to do with the fact that not just the actors, but the crew, the direction team, everybody pulled their own weight, right? So I think it's all of that, and of course, just that little bit. The tinge actually is the luck, not what you said otherwise. Yeah.
Go ahead, Chintan.
Yeah, so I would like to add to that because now he mentioned preaching and class. So we have class and the word preaching together. So when even I got the script for the first time, like I got it way after just because firstly, like we were all newcomers. So I think mera script, I got it, okay, this is my part.
You're the youngest of the group also.
Yeah, wow, thank you for specifying that. I was actually writing my exams while I was shooting in the vanity. I was like, just 1 hour, guys. I just need to complete my engineering. So that's the priority, guys. So in this country, we have to study first, and then you can do all of this. Like, you know it, right? You know it. I don't have to say anything. But when I read the script, it was because as now he specified the word preaching, so I have this, ये class कुछ सिखाने नहीं आया था, ये दिखाने आया था. And when I say दिखाने, and when you compare it with the cinema, so people say कि okay, cinema is a reflection, it acts like a mirror. पर हम यहाँ पर कोई आईना दिखाने नहीं आए थे, हम यहाँ पर ये दिखाने आए थे कि आईना खुद मैला है. So एक चीज़ जो साफ रह सकती है वो नज़रिया है. So that is my 2 cents on it.
Very well put, very well put. Can we have a round of applause, please, for him? Zayn, how did you get into the flesh of your character? How did you get into this whole teenage drama once again? You had to recap your teenage years, yes?
Of course. I mean, you asked me how I got into the skin of Veer, kind of. So I started auditioning in 2020. That's when the script first came to me. And Oshim, so I'd audition scenes where I'd have to play like the high school douchebag, and also where I'd have to I also had audition scenes with Sabha to show my softer side. And my director bought into my softer side, but he wasn't convinced I could be that aggro, mean person, I guess. So during workshops, there was a lot of, we worked a lot on the anger of the character, I think.
True.
On set, there was a lot of back and forth. Oshim would scream at me to like kind of get that reaction out of me. So yeah.
But how difficult was it for you in the sense that when you were a teenager versus now? I think the situation is very different because I feel it. When I saw Class, I was like, is this how teenagers are right now? Did you feel that?
I mean, social media is the biggest difference, I think, since when I was a teenager. And Class obviously tackles a lot of issues that social media kind of gives to you. So, I mean, I was so separated from social media before Class actually happened. I was non-existent on Instagram. And I actually have a personal story to share. I got really sick right after the release of Class. And I realized I don't think human beings are meant to feel those levels of dopamine, if you know what I mean. For the first 4 days, I was bedridden. And all I was doing was going on Instagram, refreshing, looking at my followers go up. And it felt really good, looking at the positive comments, looking at how much you guys like loved it and like accepted our characters and stuff. And after about day 4, I realized that I started feeling a little bit low, a little bit depressed. And that's when I called my mom, actually. She's sitting right there. And I had to fly back home. And what I've seen in a lot of younger people is that social media can be really detrimental to mental health. Because I feel like now your image on social media, your on-screen image is just so much more important than your real-life persona. And that's like the biggest difference from when I was young to now, I think.
Yeah, true. I think teenagers are chronically online. And there is this new thing which is called not wanting to be perceived. Which is a very rampant thing now, is that people, like these kids who are online, they have a completely separate online persona. It's almost like an avatar that you have online, and they live vicariously through those Instagram or Twitter profiles. And I think, of course, it will have consequences, good or bad. I mean, we're fairly new into it. I don't know what it means. Of course, it comes with like he said, detrimental to mental health, but I feel also as human beings, we're extremely adaptable. I think I read a study where now, in fact, you can text and walk. Your brain has kind of like tuned you into like being able to walk on or cross the road while texting, because we're just, you know, as human beings, we evolve, we adapt. So I feel it'll be a while before we truly understand the effects of it, but yes, we're chronically online and we do not want to be perceived.
You know, you've, with class, opened up a series of conversations about these issues, which never happened before. Naina, when you read the script and you saw some of the scenes, it's not something that most Indian films or series talk about or delve into. Were you also scared that you'd end up also offending some sections of society, that you'd offend the conservative Indian?
First of all, when we got the show, and they were saying that it was an official adaptation of Elite. That is the first time that I engaged with Elite as a show. And when I saw it, I realized that actually this would be really such a strong piece of material to adapt to an Indian setting, because there's so much to talk about. You know, with the class divide, there's so much nuance that if done well and if handled by the right makers, it would actually be super impactful. And then when I saw Oshim Ahluwalia's name attached to it, and I saw Netflix attached to it, there was a sense of, I don't know, in my gut, I just knew that it would do it. Of course, when you actually shoot the material and you know, you see things that are happening on social media with other projects, you know, there is, of course, a lot of anxiety and nerves with, okay, I hope that the message that we're trying to deliver so authentically and honestly is perceived correctly, as Moses said, the fear of perception or how we want to be perceived. But I think everybody came to this project with so much honesty and really trying to put a mirror without really trying to make a judgment. And because everybody, all the characters on the show are of different class backgrounds or whatever, there are different entry points for every viewer to come into the show. So you could come in through a Sabha, you could come in through a Dheeraj, you could come in through a Koul, and you would have a completely different experience based on your life. So I kind of deviated from the question a little bit, but yeah, I was nervous. I think all of us were, but somewhere we felt that the content was made with the correct intention, and we're happy that it delivered.
So, you know, the thing about classes, it talks about an issue that perhaps you see beyond education as well. In so many parts of our society, we look at that class divide, and many people also feel it in their daily lives. So while for you, you play a character who's from the other side of the tracks, right? And you're joining this really plush school, etc. How really did you train for such a character? Because you had to play that really rural Delhi boy. And add to that, do you ever feel that, you know, there was one experience that I extracted from to focus on the class divide that helped me understand that class divide?
Okay, first of all, thank you India Today for the opportunity, and thank you Netflix कि हमें यहाँ आने का मौका दिया. And I'm not from Delhi, I'm from Uttarakhand, I'm from Nainital. So for me it was hard क्योंकि दिल्ली का कैरेक्टर है, दिल्ली हरियाणा बेल्ट का कैरेक्टर है, and the accent part was hard, and you know, the physicality was hard, and the wittiness is there कि दिल्ली हरियाणा में इंडिया के अंदर हम लोगों में बहुत सारा wittiness है, हम लोग बहुत, you know, we Indians are fun. तो बट वो हरियाणा का एक कैरेक्टर करने के लिए, बट वो नुआंस बहुत ज़रूरी है. आप लैंग्वेज को अच्छे से समझते हो, एक्सेंट को बहुत अच्छे से समझते हो. दैट वाज अ हार्ड पार्ट फॉर मी. At the same time, I was building like my physique and all for the role, so I used to like do 2-time training and all for that, and used to do accent classes, and I used to call my friend Haryana से कि क्या चल रहा है भाई, क्या कर रहा है आजकल के. तो basic, you know, we used to talk for like hours, and we did that, and also we were doing our intimacy work with Moses and Naina, and हम सब लोग काफ़ी nervous रहते थे क्योंकि it was our first show, and हम लोग set पे हम most of the time awkward ही रहते थे. You know, we used to do a lot of like rehearsal before that, and मैं नैना से कहता था नैना कैसे करेंगे scene, like we don't know how to like do this scene, and luckily हमारे director काफ़ी अच्छे हैं, and Netflix we had like our intimacy coordinator on set, तो काफ़ी अच्छे से हम लोगों ने shoot किया, and we were very comfortable on set, and we used to ask our director कि why you shooting this particular scene, like why Bali is like coming out like this, why he's with Koul like this particular character, like घंटों डिस्कशन चलता था. एंड अबाउट द क्लास डिवाइड एंड सी I think character और मेरे में there's a similarity. It's about the hustle, I think. I come from a small town, so for me it's like मैंने hustle किया हुआ है. हमेशा मैं, you know, because of the discipline, consistency, I have army background, so I think it's in my DNA. So like उससे हमेशा मेहनत कर करके like I have only one thing, hard work. उससे I think मैं आज I'm sitting here.
But my sense is, when you're talking, is that you're completely opposite to Bali. Is that true?
Yeah.
Completely different?
Yeah.
What was the first day on set like, Zaid, for all of you? Was it really awkward when you all got together, met each other?
Our first day on set, we had, well, my first day on set would have been different to anyone else's, but it was literally because this is most of our first acting gig ever. So we've never seen cameras like that. There are 200 people around you watching. So my first 2-3 days on set were like horrible. They were just, I couldn't perform. We had to do so many takes. And I think it was just really nerve-wracking. But the coolest parts were workshops, actually, because that's when we really got to bond and work on our characters and kind of become friends. Because even bonding during the pandemic was super hard, right? Yeah. Because there are restrictions, we can't really meet outside of workshops. So, I mean, yeah, first few days of set, it was nerve-wracking. But the times like the Hooja party scenes and stuff, the days we were all there together, those were like the most fun days.
I just wanted to add to that, because we were all doing this for the first time. It was really nice because the first time we met was in workshops. And then as we progressed through the show, which was supposed to be shot over 3 months but ended up being shot over 2 years, it became like an acting school where we would swap notes and document each other's growth and see, hey, this is what I was tackling when I was starting out, but I'm really good at this now. How are you feeling? How are the nerves? So that was really nice. And now to end this entire journey with the show coming out and doing so well, we're again swapping notes. What are we doing next? How do we tackle this environment? So it's been really just, it's been great to have 11 cast members to swap notes with. I don't think a lot of people get that. And to do this journey alone is so daunting with the stakes. So I'm really thankful for all of my cast members. Even today, to be here together is amazing.
Oh, amazing. I can feel the chemistry of all of you, I think, when we were talking backstage as well. Chintan, tell us about your experience as well. You are a Guju boy who then came on board to play a boy from Jammu and Kashmir to talk about his struggles as well in merging and blending in society.
Yeah. So honestly, my struggles were very common. I was struggling with physics, chemistry, and maths in 11, 12. I was struggling with trigonometry, and differential calculus was still okay, but integral calculus, I still can't forget it. So honestly, I didn't have a lot of exposure to, let's say I was just in Rajkot for 18 years of my life. And then I shifted to Bombay, but I did theater for the entire time. My experience was the experience that I think related to the social media section. So I'll just ask a very simple question. What if something is not going right in your life? What do you guys do? Kya karte ho aap log? It's like, you solve the problem, right? If the problem is related to money or some sort of validation, you go and solve it. What do? Our generation, we post a picture, we get 10,000 likes and we are satisfied. That's what we do, seriously. So, yeah. And that's where I came, okay, this part is very interesting. There's a scene in the show where Yashika, who's played by Asha Kanga, she was trying to sort of Veer saab ka mood acha karne ki try kar rahi thi, and Veer riled up ke, show this to ye bahu banna hai to mummy ji ke samne karna वगैरह वगैरह, and she started crying. Like she started crying. It was, I think, one of the worst moments of her life. But what she did next was directly took the pictures, she posted on social media, now she's great. So what happened exactly, okay? I think by staying around social media for a long time, I think we have, like, at least us as generations, have started thinking of that thing as a reality. And I have said it somewhere else also, I'll say it, कि I think social media में लोग जैसे हैं वैसे नहीं है. Social media में लोग वैसे हैं जैसे वो बनना चाहते हैं. And the gap between जो बनना चाहते हैं और जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है. And that is where I think I come in, because I have that experience. I have the experience because mostly when you study, when you are from a tier 2 city, what do you generally do? A, you study. B, you spend time on social media, or you watch Netflix, of course. Now, there's class, so definitely you have to watch Netflix all the time, please. And so these are the three things I was with all the time. And this part specifically related to me the most because I myself do it. And I don't despise it, but I know it's not the solution, it's a solace.
Very, very well said.
Yeah.
We've run out of time, but I just wanted to get a sense, Gurfateh, if you can tell me, what can we expect really from season 2?
Oh, wow. We actually have no idea. It's too early right now. But, I mean, first, if everyone's not watched it, first, you guys should definitely watch season 1. But I think they're in writing, and season 2 will happen very soon. And I think it's safe to say that we're all very excited about it. It will be bigger, better, and
Some crazy
more
stuff.
controversial, hopefully. And, more of bully twerking as well.
One final question before I wrap this up. I want you all to choose one character that you would have liked to play in class and why. Zayn, starting with you.
Balli. 1000%. I want to go twerk.
I think for me it would be Mr. Kalra, which is Koul Kalra's father.
Okay.
I think he's the Indian Gandolfini.
Nice. Cool.
I think I'd like to play Farooq.
Oh, thank you. But
Yeah.
I'm playing it,
I would
so
love
no.
to be poetic and like be, involved in the architecture and history of Delhi. Yeah, it would be lovely.
I think for me, I'd love to play Dhruv's character. He's a closeted
Because of me?
gay. Huh?
Because of me?
Because of you. We'll take that, bro. We'll take that.
Because of you.
So
I said no. Veer.
Why?
I think multi-layered character. I think he's a like son, at the time lover. There's a like masculine boy at the same time. Like kind of a multiple layered character. Hai. So I want to play that kind of a character.
Okay, and finally, Chintan.
Honestly, me, man. Just Farooq, nobody else. I love my character. And I think this question was asked like multiple times, but I've said all the time, just Farooq, nobody else. I love Farooq.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
thank you all so much for joining us
you.
here at
Thank
the
you.
India
Thank you.
Today
Thank you.
Conclave. Can we have a big round of applause for them? And all the very best for season 2 of Class.
Thank you so much.